Talking about a workers' compensation case that just came out in 2023 in Hidalgo County of Texas. This is a common law system, so any law that comes out in any county of Texas applies to all people in the state of Texas. This is a workers' compensation case. Rita was basically injured while she was working as a nurse for the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. She was struck by a police officer while she was leaving the university graduation. So, because she was injured while she was leaving her job, there was a question of whether or not she would need to collect workers' compensation. And the case basically found that although the university tried to say that she was only allowed to have the exclusive remedy of workers' compensation, the case said no, she's allowed to sue to collect damages for negligence in a court of law. And the reason for that was basically twofold in this case. First, it wasn't abundantly clear that if a nurse is leaving a graduation, that is actually a work-related injury. So if there's an ambiguity in a workers' compensation case about whether it is a work-related injury, that opens the door for possibly filing the case, possibly collecting more money in a negligence lawsuit. The second important factor that came out in this case is that originally there was a filing for her to collect workers' compensation, but she was denied the coverage. So she was denied the coverage, and then the university basically said, we don't have to pay you anything for your injury because you are limited to the exclusive remedy of Texas workers' compensation. She would have been, without legal help, left with possibly no recovery. But instead, she pursued it, and what she was able to obtain was the right to have her lawsuit in a court of law. Now, one thing that the court cited, the Texas Court of Appeals cited when they're talking about these rules is originally she was denied the workers' compensation benefits. And then it was 2 years later that the division, the workers' compensation division, said, actually, we're going to go ahead and accept your workers' compensation claim. In the meantime, she had filed this lawsuit to try to collect damages for the negligence that she had endured from the university police officer hitting her with his car. So the court is saying we aren't going to have or accept, in essence, a bad faith allowance of recovery for workers' compensation. You originally denied it, and it wasn't until after she filed the lawsuit that you accepted the benefits. This is important for these reasons for you to understand, but also to know just getting denied workers' compensation or not being able to originally pursue your lawsuit because somebody says you're not allowed to is not a reason to stop the fight. This is why we obtain good counsel, and this is why we need to pursue these things for ourselves sometimes to be adequately compensated for the damages that we can incur to make ourselves whole, to find peace. And that is what this person did in this case, and she was able to prevail, but of course it did take time. Ultimately, she prevailed. It's not always the case that the outcome of workers' compensation division administration is correct. Sometimes you have to fight. Thank you for stopping by. We hope you have a great day. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Please look in the description for any downloads that may be useful to you for purposes of having forms or documents that can help you move forward. Please do not use these videos to supplement as legal advice. Always consult with a lawyer.